Hello everyone, and as soon as 2025 hit, we have lunar nodes changing signs. Right in January, in this month, they already changed signs on 12th of January. Now, lunar nodes, this is very important topic in astrology. Usually when you want to see something which is like karmic or destined events happening in someone's chart, then you have to look at their lunar nodes. Where are they situated and what's going on? And especially these lunar nodes, they are relatively fast, so they change every a year and a half, roughly speaking, signs. So they are two. That's why they occupy two signs at the same time, north node and south node. Now, south node is the node which is believed to be the past life and something that we need to, let's say, leave behind, close the doors, relinquish, something which needs to be released. But north node, this node is called destiny node, where we should be heading to, where we should be sort of focusing. And this node's job actually is making you to focus on those two parts of your life. But because they are always opposite to each other, so the line between these two houses, so this axis, is always activated. Now, many times you could hear that, according to your north node, you gain things, and according to your south node, you lose things. That's, the case sometimes, but most of the time, according to my practice and a lot of this, natal chart readings, it's like sort of two cups where, where the energy goes from one to another all the time. So it's not necessarily that according to your north node, you will gain a lot, and south node, you will lose a lot. Where is your south node will be situated. Sometimes people gain like friendships, for example, who, some new people coming into your life who will become, let's say, as family, because south node is something familiar, it signifies something that you already know, maybe from your past lives, and you instantly sort of feel this connection with people and with this new person, for example, that is going to play a huge role in your life to become your friend, or your lover, whoever is that. Sort of you kind of understand each other from, I don't know, from the moment that you're gonna meet each other. For example, this is as an example. Now, that's why this energy always flows, between these two nodes, and events will be happening according to them. Now, let's talk about these lunar nodes, which signs they're gonna occupy for the next a year and a half, starting from January. So until next year, July 2026. So they will be in Pisces and Virgo. Now, these two signs will be heroes of upcoming a year and a half. North node will move into your Pisces ruled house, and South node will move into your Virgo ruled house. Now, these lunar nodes, they are just so give you a picture. They are not a planet. You can't see them like on the sky. It's a mathematical point that is calculated automatically related to this, moon and sun orbits. So they are like points, mathematical points, and they are very sort of powerful points because of them we have eclipses. When moon and sun come together and they're like a big, huge fireball because they have 10 times, 100 times power usually. And that's why those events also have such an impact on us, like life-changing, 180 degrees sort of once in a lifetime thing happen, like getting married, giving birth, for example, or something which is like you definitely will remember for forever possibly, and you will definitely say that my life before that event and my life after that event, sort of this kind of things happen, and it's hard to actually miss with something else, this lunar nodes events. So we will get to all the signs. I will go through each sign, what does this lunar nodes will bring to you guys. But let me briefly also speak a little bit about this lunar node. So as I said, this is focus, your attention. So your attention, according to universe, is shifting to your Pisces ruled and Virgo ruled houses. They are, universe wants you to concentrate there. So it means time came so that you need to change some things there. especially through your south node, you will need to a lot of like find some workarounds, or totally release something, leave behind something, or find something, some new ways, but according to your north node, Pisces ruled house, there will be a lot of opportunities coming in life. Now the advice here, actually, to swim, to follow with the stream, not against. So, those of you who love changes, those of you who like easily actually, let's say, adjustable, and you're adjusting everything quite easy and quite fast, you will, this period will be much easier. But those of you who don't like changes, then, this period won't be so much fun, let's say. So the advice actually to follow whatever is going on, follow the stream of life, and no need to fight, because at the end of the day, this lunar node's job to bring your life to a better actually version of your life and version of yourself, to upgrade you. Sometimes we are stuck with some situations, we are indecisive and we don't know what to do, or we're just waiting like something to happen so that somebody or some things and some events decide for us in that situation, the outcome. So if you have this kind of situation, lunar nodes comes in and they are actually changing. They are that point in time that you are waiting, so that they come in and change your life and change that situation, that stagnant situation especially. Now lunar nodes, they move backwards, not like planets. They are like moving forward. I have sometimes questions why in my natal chart, lunar nodes are retrograde, like it's R, they're beside it, like written, because they're always retrograde. Now they move backwards, so they move sort of clockwise, and for the last a year and a half, they've been occupying signs of Aries and Libra, these axes, and now they are in Pisces and Virgo. And so to catch up with these lunar nodes, you might reflect, you might recall what was going on in your life 18 years ago, 18 years and a half, sort of this period. So that's the 2006, 2007, around this time, like second half of 2006 and whole 2007. You should maybe, you might think back to situations and what was going on in your life back then. So those things might repeat. Nothing is exactly similar in our life, but the topic might come back. For example, let's say back in 2007, you got married. And now, after 18 years, let's say you are getting divorced, as an example. Or you would want to celebrate your marriage of 18 years or so, again, like for the whole family. Or you're welcoming your baby, let's say. Or something's going on there. For example, if you back then in 2007 gave birth, that kid now is going to college. So the kid grew up. 18 years already passed and they're going to college, for example. So the topics might be similar, So if you cannot recall what was going on 18 and a half years ago, then you might think back to 9 years ago, because that's a half cycle of lunar nodes when, these nodes, they come back to the same sign, so Pisces and Virgo, but like vice versa. South node 9 years ago was in Pisces, and North node was in Virgo. So around that time, again, those things might have been happening, like again, similar topics. So recall back to 9 years ago, if it's harder for you to think back to 18 years ago, just as a help, my dears. Now, these nodes will be occupying roughly 18 months. In 18 months, your focus totally will change to those two signs. And as I said, events are like fate, once in a lifetime events. Now, those of you, who have in your natal chart these lunar nodes in Pisces and Virgo will be feeling this shift the most in upcoming 18 months. And also those who are 18 years or 19 years old, because the full circle is, as I said, 18 and a half years, right? So if you are 18 or 19, or perfectly saying 18 and a half, then your lunar nodes are coming back to the same place. and you will be feeling the most changes, you know. And next, those of you who are 36, from 36 to 38, the same, because it's the second cycle already. And 55, 56 years old, and even 74, 75 years old. Now, those of you guys, you know, you will feel this the most, because lunar nodes, they are coming back to the place they were when you were born. Always check your ascendant, meaning rising sign, moon sign, a sign, and sun sign, because, you know, all three will be playing out greatly. I will explain why, because on my personal examples, because I checked back what was going on in my life, and it's crazy how my moon, for example, is very strong in my chart. And I actually was surprised how each time this lunar nodes, and you know, they were changing sign, according to my moon sign, they were giving me a lot of life changes, life events. And not only ascendant and sun sign, of course, all three of them were playing huge role. Now, because of these lunar nodes, we have eclipses, as I said, and in 2025 we have 4 of them. Lucky us. And as I said, back in your horoscope for 2025, you might want to check back for more details as well about these eclipses, because here I won't speak about these eclipses. We will focus only on lunar nodes, like destiny nodes. But eclipses, as I said, they are mainly all of them positive, except for the one which was the last one, I think, if I remember correct. Anyhow, check back to 2025 horoscope for your zodiac sign, my dears. Now let's go through all the zodiacs. Aries, my dear Aries, for you guys, it will be 12th house and 6th house axis. Now, North Node will moved already actually into your 12th house. South Node moved into your 6th house. Now, this axis, like line between these two houses, because they are always opposite to each other, right, is called service axis. Now, I will be telling you what was before and what is now, you know. For clarity, since July 2023, it was for you 1st house and 7th house. You are the heroes for the past a year and a half, together with Libra. Now, your focus was on yourself, on your relationships also, mostly. That was your focus since July 2023. A lot of you guys got married or got divorced, or you, like, let's say, upgraded to the next level your relationship, found your karmic person, I mean one and only, found your sweetheart. A lot of Aries experienced, you know, quite dramatic changes in terms of self and in terms of other people. Some of you guys might have even involved into legal actions as well, because 7th house is litigation. Some lawsuits, you know, might have happened there. And in general, huge focus was on you, like about your plans, what you want in life in general, who you are, and your even appearance changed, you know, according to 1st house. You might have changed your style. You might have changed your name or surname for the past a year and a half. So everything related to self and your priorities as well. And of course, relationship with other people. It's not only in marriage, but also in business relationships. Quite a lot of things might have been changing for you since then, 2023 July. Now it will be 12th house and 6th house focus. You know, after having these lunar nodes in your sign, now you might finally feel relieved, but still you will need to work in your 12th and 6th house. Now, it's much easier actually to host them there, because 12th house is all about rest. There will be huge emphasis exactly on how you rest, or like what kind of recreational activities you do for you to relax, for example. And in general, like 12th house is a house of, you know, sleeping as well. You might open a business related to sleep, like meditation, or you might open a hotel, because at hotel we also sleep, you know. It's somewhere where people come in and relax or sleep, sort of for a few hours, or massage salon. something to related to this type of businesses you might open in upcoming a year and a half, already beginning from January actually. Or you might you might get interested into spirituality, because 12th house is all about hidden things. It's all about subconscious mind. You might want to tap into your subconscious mind and to find answers, to seek answers, like through meditation, through hypnosis, whatever is that, like some therapies, like psychological therapies as well. Maybe you might want to start going to therapies. For whatever reason actually. Now 12th house is a house of isolation, where we are isolated. And it might be because of, for example, of work, like all of a sudden your company offer you, for example, online job, and huge part of the time in upcoming a year and a half you will be spending home because you're working online and by yourself. 12th house is something which is isolated, something which you do meticulously in private, like yourself, only you, in solitude. So it might be because of work, or it might be because of any other reason. For example, you got a kid and now you sit quite like long time at home with your baby, caring for your baby, as an example. Or you might move to some island, let's say, which doesn't have like a lot of people or a lot of buildings, and you might feel yourself and you might find yourself in this kind of places living in the next a year and a half, because it's a 12 house. Some of you guys might spend I don't know, traveling a lot or totally relocating somewhere, because 12 house is something which is far, which is very far lands, like across the ocean. You might completely move actually your base, like your family. You might start and actually meet someone who is far from you, like online, and chat a lot with that person for the next a year and a half. And it's not a joke. You might have quite a lot of active online work or like chat with someone. Now, 12th house is also a house of, esoterics, as I said, subconscious mind, something mystical. You might get interested into trying to find out who you are, like subconsciously, and you might get interested in astrology or like this numerology, this kind of subjects, which gives you like a sort of magical perspective, mystical perspective. And it's amazing time. It will be, in upcoming 18 months will be amazing time for you to look within, not outside as you prefer and usually do, but this time focus will be to look within, inside of you, what's going on. And all the answers you will find exactly there. And this is amazing, period also for letting go things. 12th house is the last house in our chart, and it's the house where we let go of things, where we leave things behind. And it will be so easy to you, this time, especially if you have, I don't know, if you've been afraid of something, you have long-term fear, these kind of things. And if you have something like bad habits that you want to get rid of, like smoking, drinking, you will do it easily here. Exactly with this North Node in your 12th house, use this time for this kind of things. And you intuitively actually will feel that this is the time. Now, 12th house is also a house of endings. It's culmination. So some things might be finishing in your life, maybe some chapter, some story, or something like you will be closing the door there in upcoming a year and a half. Now, 12th house is also house of secrets. And here, take good care, because all your secrets might come to light, or someone else's secrets also, both ways. So here it might be very unexpected, especially with eclipses. If you were hiding something, that won't be any longer possible, my dear Aries. 12th house is also a house of dreams. You might start dreaming something prophetic also. And 12th house is a house of past. Now, some periods of life in upcoming 18 months might bring you back to your past, or some stories, or some people, like, some people might come back into your life, or contact you from your past, or there will be some situation that will remind you about your past. Now, South Node will be located in your sixth house. Now, sixth house is all about habits. And it's amazing here, as I said, to get rid of those bad habits as smoking, drinking, or to drugs, whatever is that. Like, it will be easy because South Node is itself about releasing things, and it's, in your sixth house. This is amazing period for you to transform your habits, daily habits. Now, sixth house is house of work, like daily job. You might be quitting your job in upcoming a year and a half, or changing your job to something which is more, let's say, paid or more suitable to your skills, as an example. But in general, like, the focus will shrink, from your work, because it's your work house, and South Node is where you will pay less attention. Some things will not be anymore so important as before at your work situation. Maybe it's like a people, or I don't know, whatever, like project that you were crazy about, let's say. When South Node is here, it will make it less important. Some things or some people might become so unimportant that you will be sort of surprised by this, feeling also. And a workload will be also less. It might change. It might become less. And also, sixth house is a house of enemies. And here is amazing because you might get rid of those enemies. Finally, that South Node will take it with itself. Your enemies, your debts as well, because sixth house is everything that we owe to someone or some whoever, and all those things will pass finally. And in general, it's such a powerful time to heal yourself. Now, if I would like to also give you my example, what was going on when North Node was in my 12th house and South Node was in my 6th house. I got first time interested in astrology during that period in my life, like heavily invested. I was buying a lot of books, I was reading, and honestly, whole that period, I was nonstop, so much thirsty to this astrology thing. And I got interested in almost everything, like numerology, astrology, like to find answers within those things and also within myself. And the South Node in my 6th house played out as I wasn't satisfied with my job, and I was trying to change it at that time. I was completely, my job became like completely unimportant. I was basically surviving just at work, like going and coming back, but it wasn't giving me any satisfaction, and I was just dreaming to change it and finally leave it. And by the end of that period, I left it, by the way. Taurus, my dear Taurus, says for you guys it's 11th house and 5th house. Now, North Node is in your 11th house now, and South Node is in your 5th house now. Now, before, since July 2023, it was in your 12th and 6th house. So for the past, a year and a half, you've been focusing, you've been finishing some things in your life. You've been closing some doors, some big chapter in your life, because 12th house, where North Node was, it's about past. It's about something that you needed to finish. And South Node in your 6th house gave you better habits, and it took away some bad habits from you, like drinking, smoking, or overeating. Whatever is that, South Node was working past a year and a half in your favor so that you build your healthy lifestyle, let's say. And because 6th house is all about health and also work. A lot of you guys might have, quit your jobs or changed your work completely. Something might have been happening there that you are leaving your work. Either it's your decision or someone else's, but anyhow, South Node here indicated that a lot of change happened in your daily job area. And 12th house, North Node was in your 12th house. It gave you spirituality. You might have become interested in all those spiritual side of life, especially like dreaming or manifesting things, yoga or meditation. All these things might have come as new and very fresh, like knowledge which you were thirsty to. And for the past a year and a half, you've been busy, maybe relocating also, because 12th house is something about far lands. like you've been relocating somewhere, or you've been busy with the documents, like for those things like permanent residence or citizenship. The 12th house is also something isolated. For the past year and a half, you might have been uh, spending a lot of time by yourself, spending a lot of time in solitude, like behind the doors. Like you might have felt this need to shut down from the world and be private, be by yourself, and that no one sees you. And sort of privacy was number one to you at that time. But now, when this lunar nodes, they change into your 11th house, now this will be different, completely different side of life. Already since this month, January, you might start feeling the need of online communication, like expanding, because 11th house is house of expansion. It's a house of big a lot of people, like where when people, such a contrast, right? Like a year and a half ago, you wanted to be by yourself, in your world, at home, let's say, and that no one sees you. But now, when lunar nodes moved into your 11th house, you might suddenly, realize that you missed actually when there's like a lot of people, when there's like action happening, when there's like friendship gatherings, friends gatherings, you all of a sudden might want and crave this thing, like a huge, like a lot of when surround, like your a lot of people surround you, or like where you're online, for example. You might start using social media, or you might start being more active online, let's say. Now, North Node will be in your 11th house, and 11th house is the house of third marriage. So if that's your case, you might get married actually in upcoming a year and a half. And also, if you already married, like let's say, then it might be about second or third kids, because 11th house is about second or third kid. So you might have a kid here. Now, 11th house is also indication of grandchildren. If you're at that age, then you might welcome your first grandchild, as an example. Now, in general, this 11th house is about everything which is online, everything which is internet related. You might start working online, or you might start completely change your, let's say, profession, your vacation to online job. You might learn something new, which is like about marketing. I don't know, social media. So you might become a influencer, as an example. If that's your wish, then this is the time for you to act in a upcoming a year and a half. It's about new plans, new sort of friends also. Your world might get expanded, because 11th house is about friendships, and there is a new friendship circle forming, and those friends will be with same mindset as you, same plans, same interest as well, and it will be so refreshing and so satisfying. So it's amazing to have here, North Node in your 11th house. Now, if you own a business, for example, you might this year to move that business online, or expand it online, or like utilize more online presence to attract more clients, to attract more sales. For example, you might start doing that already since January, from January. And 11th house is about results. You might get deserved results. 11th house is about deserved results, like all those things that you work hard for. Now you will get the results, my dear Tauruses. Seems like whatever you did good last few years, those efforts will not go in vain and will yield results actually for you. In general, North Node makes everything faster. It seems like you will grow faster online. Plus, if your wish to become popular, this is your time, because 11th house is about popularity. It's becoming popular, like it's a big picture, seeing the big picture and being in the big picture. Now, South Node will be situated in your 5th house. So you see, the focus will be on this kind of area of your life where you will need to expand, my dear Tauruses. Wherever is that, your business, yourself, your family, because 5th house is house of kids. Some of you guys might get a first kid. Even if it's not first, then because South Node shrinks things. You might, because you're, for example, busy, you become an influencer, and online sales grow, for example. and it might be less time actually that you will spend with your kids, because South Node shows exactly that. As I said, it's two cups, that energy is flowing from one to another, right? So at times you might feel that you literally don't have time to spend with your kids because you're too busy with those plans for future according to your 11th house. Now, hobbies, fifth house is a hobby, and here, better not to focus, not to leave those things as hobbies, whatever you have, like drawing or singing, but make it a business. That is the advice here of the South Node. Make it work for you. Make those skills, those hobbies work for you, not just leave them as hobbies. Now, a fifth house is also a house of love, and love triangles as well. And here, whatever triangle that you find yourself, they will fall. And they won't be any more so important anyhow, because for the first place in your life will be occupied by those things North Node indicated that I said. It's about plans for future and in general expansion, business, new societies, new groups of people, new friendships. And seems like whatever situation related to love life, there will be like negative one, it won't be so let's say important to you, which is amazing, right? And here in fifth house, you might actually meet someone like karmic person, because South Node is someone from past lives, might be that you will instantly feel that you know this person for so long time already, even though you are meeting him or her for the first time. As an example, you might feel instant connection and attraction. I can give you my situation, what was going on when I had North Node in my 11th house and South Node in my 5th house. Now, when this transit happened, according to my sun sign, according to my actually rising sign, I got married. I got married this time, and according to my sun sign, I started online business. You see, everything was focused online and future plans actually. And according to my moon sign, because they were hitting my different houses, I changed my country, and I changed it 2 times, like where I'm based, like I'm living, So during that 18 months of period, I managed to change 2 times and live in 2 countries. Can you imagine? So this was, some of you might also do that as well. This was the time when I started online business, and I need to relocate for that, and then back to some other country. So because I got married, so there was a huge and like fast life pace. And North Node in 11th house brings that sort of fast things, Now, Geminis, for you guys, it will be 10th house and 4th house. Now, those houses are angular houses. Very important one, very sensitive one, because, they are the most important. There is a line between 10th and 4th houses and 1st and 7th. So they make a cross. These 4 houses, they make a cross in your natal chart and on the sky. So this cross is very, very sensitive. And lunar nodes moved exactly into, those 2 houses out of 4, 10th house and 4th house. Why? Because this is the most, like, one of the most important, let's say, points in your chart. Now, let me tell you what was before. Like from July 2023, your focus was on expansion, on new friendships. You sort of been thirsty for new friends, new community, a new future, let's say, new plans for future, because 11th house and 5th house, where North Node and South Node were for the last a year and a half since July 2023, was giving you this sort of hunger, to see more, to know more, and plus online. A lot of you guys, my dear Geminis, changed your job to online one. A lot of you guys started online business, or if you had a business, then you moved it online, seems like, because 11th house is all about internet and it's all about social media. Or you might change your profession to become an influencer or work with influencers, like work online and let's say with social media. Now, and also a lot of you guys experience some changes related to your kids if you have them, and if you don't have them, then you might have welcomed your new family member. Or like a lot of change in terms of you might have spent less time with your kids, or for example you've divorced and there was a sort of shared custody, and because of that you had to adjust timing that you spend with your kids. It's not necessarily that you do that, but because of the circumstances in your life, uh, there was like less emphasis, actually less focus on your kids and the time spent with your kids in general. And also business, a lot of you guys might have closed your business, because South Node is all about letting go, is all about leaving behind. So you might have quit your business, closed the doors for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Maybe it wasn't successful, or maybe because you sold it, it was hugely successful, but you sold it, let's say, and you earned a lot of money, as an example, or maybe you transferred your business online to make it only on social media, for example. Now, from January onwards, you will feel this North Node the most and South Node, because they will hit your sensitive houses, as I said, 10th house and 4th house. Now, what is this houses? Now, 10th house is house of ambition. It's the house of social status. It's the house of achievement, and it's the house of your reputation. How much your reputation weighs. Like how much of your word, like let's say, is important to anyone actually. And here, a lot of you guys might finally shine, because North Node is exactly in your 10th house, and North Node makes it everything faster. It opens doors. And here, every VIP, every CEO of any company will welcome you, will be happy to see you because of your skills, because of your experience, because of your personality, because you will be shining like a sort of golden there, I don't know, leaf. And you might become also ambitious, and also you might achieve quite a lot of things in upcoming a year and a half, my dear Geminis. Whatever you've been following, and whatever you've been wanting to achieve, you will get this, my dear Geminis. So stay on the course. No going back. And whatever you proud of will see the light, actually. It might be new job, or it might be a new position, which will come with a lot of responsibilities at the same time, but also with a lot of reputation, which will add up to your reputation, which will make you a boss, will make you manager, will make you CEO, I don't know, someone who everyone listens to, someone who everyone wants to get advice from. So it will make you it will open doors for these kind of opportunities. Don't miss them. 10th house is also of course, your salary will grow as well. Whatever you earn will grow. You will grow financially, my dear Geminis. This is like a golden key to you from universe. So use this time. Now, South Node will be in your 4th house. Now, 4th house is all about real estate, or where we live, wherever situation is, like your apartment, your house, whatever real estate you have, also you own, also is here. So you might sell it, you might change it, I don't know. Or if you sell it, there is a sort of a risk that you might sell it to the price less than you expected, because it's a South Node, and South Node is about losses here. And you might, I don't know, leave behind some real estate just because you couldn't sell it, for example, in some cases. Some of my clients had this kind of cases. Now, during this period, in upcoming a year and a half, it's not advisable to invest into real estate for you guys, or because there is a chance of losing, those things, because South Node is all about loss, is all about leaving behind. So it's not good a time to buy, actually, real estate. 4th house is also house of comfort, this is our comfort zone. It's our home. And here you might sort of lose your comfort. Maybe you might start living with your parents again, as an example, like losing your comfort. Or maybe there will be a baby, like you will welcome your first baby, and of course it will ruin, let's say, your lifestyle, and in general you might need to adjust your comfort there. And it won't be so comfortable to sleep with a newborn baby, right? Or if you buy some like real estate, maybe it might not be needed, actually. You might think that it was for nothing, because either you're not comfortable there, either you just don't like it, but you bought it somehow. Now, the fourth house is also a house of home and immigration, like where we call home. So here you might change your citizenship. Some of you guys, you might get a passport or permanent residence or temporary residence, whatever is that. So sort of losing your homeland here, like not literally, but figuratively speaking, you might change your country where you're based. Like you might relocate to some other country, or you might get busy with those papers, work papers. Now, I can give you my situation, what was going on. As an example, when North Node hit my 10th house and South Node hit my 4th house, it was something that, according to my sun sign, I moved to another country. I checked my sun sign, and I actually changed the country that I live in. And also, I finished my career. I changed my career. Sort of, I completely decided to do something else. And according to my rising sign, I got my driving license there. And also according to my moon sign, I started earning more because I changed my career and I also invested into something and I got more money as a consequence. So sort of my reputation was sort of higher there. Cancers, for you guys, it will be 9th house and 3rd house. You will become extra lucky. Plus, Jupiter will be there already since June in your sign, and this lunar nodes occupying your lucky house, 9th house. Now, this line between 9th house and 3rd house called movement axis. So there will be a lot of movement in ideas and physical movement, any sort of movement. It seems like you won't sit home. That is definitely. And so 9th house is, North Node will be in your 9th house, South Node will be in your 3rd house. Now, let me briefly tell you what was going on since July 2023 when this North Node and South Node were occupying your 10th house and 4th house, very sensitive houses. So for the past a year and a half, your focus was on actually where you live, what is your social status, what is your career. Like a lot of you guys changed, got actually promoted, or you changed completely what you do in life, your vocation, because 10th house is all about career, what we want to do in life, what we want to achieve. And 10th house is also house of achievement and house of father. You might if it's not your life, then there could have been a lot of things going on in your father's life. Like they might have been changing their career or retiring or whatever related to their job and influence and reputation. Now, also, there was huge focus on your real estate, where you live. A lot of you guys might have sold apartments or houses, or vice versa, bought apartments and houses. So there was quite a lot of things going on around your real estate and where you live in general, and plus your citizenship. A lot of you guys changed actually, maybe like your passport, your citizenship, or you just relocated and you got a permanent residence permit or like a temporary residence, whatever is that. Now, focus is shifting to your 9th house and 3rd house, beginning from January. So 9th house is all about, everything foreign, everything which is unusual, and like languages, people, everything which is not from our culture, not from our background. So here your world gets expanded, my dear Cancers, because North Node is the node of opportunities, is the node of opening doors. There will be a lot of opportunities for you guys to expand your world, to start learning a new language, for example. Quite a lot of you guys might start doing so and learn a new language in upcoming a year and a half. Or you might go back to university, as an example, back to college, or get a degree, for example. Or you might relocate somewhere which is completely like foreign, people speaking different language, different culture, because this is amazing opportunity to relocate if that's your wish, my dear Cancers, either because of your study or because of work, whatever is that. Also, 9th house is house of teaching. You might become a teacher. You might start teaching something. It doesn't matter, like maybe languages or maybe at university. And also 9th house of publishing. If some of you guys are busy trying to get published, let's say your work, your masterpiece. It doesn't matter if that's a research, you are a researcher, some scientist, or if you're a novelist, I don't know, your book, whatever is that, or article, you will be extra lucky. All the editors' houses, all the, I don't know, publishing houses, they will open doors to you, my dear Cancers. You will get perfect opportunities to find that amazing editor to help you, polish off your work, your masterpiece, and make it to see the light, to go to the broader audience, my dear Cancers. Ninth house is a house of motivation and, in general, searching for life meaning. And you might have sort of all of a sudden this desire to find out what's actually your life's meaning, as an example. And you might start traveling also for whatever reason, maybe because of that, or maybe because, I don't know, your work sending you to different countries, to business trips, whatever actually the reason. The point here is that your travel, you might become a sort of a travel guru, or maybe you will open a travel agency, as an example. Ninth house is all about travel, when we expand our mind. And the ninth house is a house of religion. You might change your religion here, or you might sort of get into relationship with a person from a different religious background, as an example, in upcoming a year and a half. Now, ninth house is also a house that is everything related to legal things. And here, if you're busy, and if your life situation involves like this permanent residences, citizenships, or all types of visas, all those things that you've been applied to will finally move forward. You might hear back. Those processes will go faster. You might get actually promoted. Finally, you might hear back from those ministries or wherever you submitted your documents related to those, citizenships, residence permits, in general visas. All these things will move much faster and much luckier, because ninth house is a house of luck. You will get lucky, my dear Cancers, in one or two things. Something will come to you with such an ease, actually. Now, also, you might start expanding. For example, you have a, let's say, business, and you might start expanding your business internationally. Like, you might attract international clients, you might start selling internationally, or you might upgrade, actually take your business and open a new branch in some other country of your business, of your office or something. You might start doing that, and you will have amazing opportunities to do. Just believe in that. Now, South Node will be in your third house. Now, third house is also all about movement. It's also about communication. It's a house, everything related of what we speak, what we write, what we think, about our thoughts, and also about commerce and trade. So here, also third house is the house of our neighbors, also our relatives or siblings. And third house is our close friendships with whom we communicate daily. So seems like it will be less focused on that part of your life, sort of because you are expanding, because you are thirsty to bigger world, like bigger picture, like people from far. Seems like you will be less paying attention to what's going on, and in general communicating with your inner circle, for whatever reason, actually. And it might be because North Node is there, in your ninth house. It's expanding it. Sort of ninth house is itself is a house of a bigger world, like a sort of huge window to the world, outer world. And you will be looking so much so that what will be going on, like inner, like circle, which is closer circle surrounding you, won't be so important anymore. Seems like it will lose importance in your eyes. Now, and here advise not to get involved into any business or any sort of type of work together with your relatives or neighbors. It won't be so lucky here, because South Node is node of loss. So better not to have any business there. Even if you will have an offer, if you have offer, don't try to avoid actually agreeing to that offer from your relative or from your neighbor. Or you might have a, let's say, quarrel here, some argument, and But if you do so, don't pay attention to that, because your focus is totally to the bigger world. And it seems like you will be too busy to notice these small arguments. Now, otherwise, you will lose actually a lot of things in your South Node. Third house is house of transportation. And here you might change your transport or sell it actually. Something might be going on with your whatever transport that you use. Or for example, if your whole life been using a public transport, you might stop using it for whatever reason. For example, you moved somewhere where there is no public transport, or and you're walking around or using a car, for example, or vice versa. Your whole life we're driving a car because you needed it, like at your home, but then you moved somewhere and there is like everything available from public transport, and it's much easier and cheaper and faster to get from one point to another. So you start using public transport as an example. I can give you what was going on in my life as an example also. When North Node hit my 9th house and South Node my 3rd house, I actually decided what profession to pursue according to my sun, because at that time I was in high school. And I finally decided, I sort of was, according to my 9th house, was searching meaning of my life and my skills and what I want to do in general in the future. And I finally, because I had two choices that I was passionate about, like a lot, both of them, but then I had to choose. So I finally made my mind that time, and North Node made me realize a couple of things in favor of one sort of profession. So I went and started studying and actually decided who I want to be in the future in my professional field. Now, this is my example. Let's move forward. Leos, my dear Leos, for you guys, it will be financial axis. Now, this is important axis, money, money, money. This will be important in upcoming a year and a half. Your huge focus, like your mind focus, will be on your financial situation, because North Node is hitting your 8th house, South Node is hitting your 2nd house. Now, both these houses are about money, and the line between these two houses is called financial axis. Now, before January, so previous a year and a half, since July 2023, you might have been focusing on your expansion, on learning language. You might have learned a couple of languages, for example, or even one. You might have taken up some courses of languages, whether it was necessary or whether it was because you want to do that. Also, for the past a year and a half, you've got, for example, driving license. You start driving, for example, or you learn quite a lot of skills, like short-term skills. Or some of you guys might have acquired like degrees as well, because 9th house is house of education. Some of you guys might have published a lot of things and started online sort of presence, media business, social media business, because 3rd house is all about communication, whether it's a podcast or YouTube channel, whatever it is that you might have started since last year, 2023 July, this sort of projects you've been trying, and your focus was actually there. And your focus also was on travels, on different countries, people from different nationalities as well. In general, like 9th house here, you might have moved, relocated to another country in the past a year and a half. And you might have been busy with those legal documents related to that, like visas, residence permits, whatever is that. So huge focus was actually on that part of your life. And now, since January of 2025, when lunar nodes hit your financial axis, 8th house and 2nd house, your focus is switching how much you earn, how much you own, on your self-value, also on how much your spouse earns as well, whether it's intentional or unintentionally. Life events will make you focus on those parts of your life. And especially if you are planning to get a loan, for example, or if you've been on financial help, let's say some aid, some governmental help, or financial institutions supporting you, those things will be important, like your scholarship if you're a student, if you've been getting, let's say, alimony for your kid or for yourself, those things might change, or you might start getting, because North Node will be in that part of money house, which deals with other people's money that come into your pocket but that you don't earn. That's the point. Like, 8th house is all about money that come from other sources, for whatever reason, but that you don't work for that. Like a governmental house, for example, you are divorcing and you start getting alimony. In the next a year and a half, you will start getting alimony for your kid or for yourself, as an example. Or if you like, that alimony might, let's say, change in financial terms. Let's say if you've been doing so already, then it might double or even triple, because your ex-husband or ex-wife start earning more, as an example. Because North Node, which is situated in your 8th house, is all about opportunities. It makes it expansion there, and plus it makes it faster, everything, like speed of light. Now, if you're a student, then you might apply for a scholarship and you might get rewarded, and you might start getting a scholarship, as an example, for next a year and a half, starting already from January. Or if you, let's say, been trying to get a bank loan, you might get approved, and the next a year and a half, you might deal with those bank papers, or tax papers. If you've been trying to deal with your tax return situation and revision, whatever is related to your taxes, or money that is related to governments or banks or financial institutions, will be huge focus there. And also investments. Like, a lot of you guys might start investing and get quite interested into investing, like in shares and coins, whatever is that. If you've been totally not on that page, but now when these nodes will focus there, you might actually get interested in that, and you might quite earn huge money as well, because North Node is gaining there, so you might gain a lot of money. Now, 8th house is also a house of your family budget, like your partners, your husband or wife financial situation. They might start earning more because they got promoted, because they got a new job offer or opportunity, which is a high paid opportunity, for example, and because of that, your family budget is also growing. Or someone might knock your door with financial, offer to earn something, as an example. You might also get inheritance, because 8th house is inheritance house, like from your relative or someone else, whoever is that, might leave you some sort of a inheritance, or maybe real estate or whatever is that. Now, where South Node will be focused, it's in your 2nd house. Now, 2nd house is vice versa, old money that you earn by your skill, by your work, and here a lot of you guys might change your job, or you might willingly or unwillingly, depending on different circumstances, change and quit your job. Actually, you might leave your job, and you might close your business if you're a business owner, and you might stop sort of earning. For example, some of you guys, not necessarily in a bad way, like your husband or wife earns triple, or even more than you, and it's enough to both of you, and you might, for that reason, quit your job and be totally okay. As an example, it's just South Node is about losses, and it's in your 2nd house of earned income. And here South Node makes it shrink. The focus from your income will be less. Sort of, you won't be focusing at all how much you earn, how you earn. Sort of, here focus will shift more to, a huge focus will be exactly on those financial help or aid that is coming, or some investment returns. Like, you invested, luckily, for example, and now you are like living off of that investment return, as an example. Or you got a huge inheritance, which is a lucky to you now situation that you don't need to work, as an example. Now, 2nd house is also a house of all things that we own, like material possessions, like house or car, and a lot of you guys might change those things or sell those things. 2nd house is also linked with self-esteem. So here, this South Node, it takes away something from you. So it's here a very good thing that it might take away something that was hindering your self-esteem. sort of something that you were hesitating to believe in yourself, that you can earn more, that you deserve to earn more, and that money actually earned easily. And something that was as a block there, maybe psychological or mental, might get away with this south node. South node might delete that thing, and it's amazing opportunity. And don't allow in the next a year and a half to anyone to, make you feel that you are inferior in terms of your earning, in terms of your self-esteem, in terms, don't make anyone to let you feel that way, let you feel that you are sort of self-low sort of position. Don't allow that. And plus, next a year and a half, this south node will show you your true value, your true, you might transform greatly here. It will show you actually how much you cost to yourself, and figuratively and direct meaning, like how much you can earn, how much you can possess. And that is directly linked to how much you love yourself and believe in yourself, my dear Leos. Now, eighth house, between this eighth and second house, as I said, it's like two cups, and energies will be flowing from one to another. So now eighth house is also about house of transformation, and also house of a fear, like psychological fear, or some wounds, psychological. And here it might give you a lot of emphasis, so you might feel the need to go to therapies, as an example. And it's these nodes might help you to get rid of those fears, to get rid of those wounds, or whatever childhood traumas, whatever is that is holding you like inside as something blocking you. So this north node will give you this sort of courage to finally work with that. And or as alternative, you might become yourself a psychologist. You might start learning a psychology, and you might become a therapist, as an example, and you might start earning on that. Now, eighth house is also house of conception. Eighth house in general is such a magical house. All the magic that we can't explain is in eighth house. So this conception is also a magical thing, and you will have amazing time to get pregnant if that was your wish. If that's not your wish, then take good care on this topic, because you will have amazing opportunity. You will be fertile, let's say. It's amazing period for you to finally become a mother or father, or to go through sort of this healing process related to fertility journey, to conception, whatever is that it is your case. Now, eighth house is also house of sex, and you might, there might be a new person, like your sexual partner, who will actually be a different from a different culture, different background, because this north node is indicative of a different sort of person, very diverse, very unlike you, from a different cultural, language, like sort of foreigner like background, upbringing background, totally could be even age different, for example, very big sort of age difference could be. So some of you guys might meet such a sexual partner as an example, new sexual experiences. Now, eighth house is also house of addictions, like alcohol addiction, drug addictions, and it's amazing time to get rid of them, because or to help to those who they have this sort of addictions, to help them to get rid of them, to finally free them from these addictions. Like, it's a amazing transformational house, and that will give you, actually, this north node will give you chance to transform yourself, either others. It will give you power to transform others too, my dear Leos. Eighth house is also a house of shared property. So if your case is that you're divorcing, then next a year and a half, you might start this, dividing the property process, which will bring you good results, because north node is a node of gaining. You will get quite a good chance to get huge part of that whatever real estate or property you had together in marriage, let's say. Now, my dear Virgos, you are the heroes of upcoming a year and a half together with Pisces, because, my dear Virgos, lunar nodes moving into your sign together into Pisces. Now, you will host South Node, and your North Node will go into your 7th house, which is Pisces. Now, this is very, very crucial period for you, because, you know, every this 9, let's say, half cycle, or every 18 years and a half, we host these lunar nodes, and we have karmic lessons, sort of exams, not lessons. Sorry. So it's sort of like a, you know, destiny will come to check up on you and make you to go through some exams, which will not be necessarily negative, might be even positive, and it's a life upgrade. As I said, it's a 2 cups of the same axis, and the energy will be flowing between these 2 cups, between your sign and your 7th house. Now, 1st house and 7th house. 1st house and 7th house, it's a personal axis, it's a relationship axis. This is very important and hugely sensitive, like points of part of your chart. And here, you know, huge focus will be on your relationships, because North Node, the destiny node, will be in Pisces, meaning all other people with whom you have a contractual agreement, like colleagues, or your boss or manager, or your business partners, or your spouse, like your husband or wife, even your long-term sweetheart, not the ones that you start dating, but I'm talking about those who are already long-term in a relationship. Now, those people will be huge focus. And because South Node will be in your 1st house, seems like you might be, you know, sort of taking backstage, sort of, there will be less emphasis on you, on yourself. And it's in your life, you know, to you. I'm talking, not to other people. So it seems like you might become less important to yourself. Your focus will shift totally to other people, to your spouse, if you're married, for example, or to your business partner. And you might stop actually focusing on yourself. And you might also change your surname or name, as an example. For example, you got married, because 7th house is house of marriage. And in upcoming a year and a half, a lot of Virgos will get married. So, you know, it might be that you will be changing your surname, like dropping your family name, for example. Now, 7th house is also, as I said, house of all other people, like clients, for example, if you work in a client-based sort of business, or students, whoever, if you're like a teacher. So a lot of things will be changing there. And some of you guys who are married, even you might get divorced also, because, you know, this destiny node, if it thinks that this marriage is not going anywhere and it's taking long for you to take the decision, and you've been stuck in this marriage, but you are unhappy and you've been reluctant to do any moves, then this North Node comes in and changes everything rapidly, pretty much rapidly, because North Node is all about speed. It's all about fast, you know, things. And that will be in a blink of an eye. So, you know, better to deal with this situation yourself, but it's already a bit late, my dear Virgos. So, you know, this lunar node's already working there. So if those of you who are in an unhappy marriage, this North Node will change that. So you might get actually divorced. And some of you guys, vice versa, might get married if that was going already, like sort of ongoing topic in your life. Now, because I said focus will be on your partner, whoever is that, in marriage or in business, it might be the case that, for example, your husband or wife will get a job and they will be sent to somewhere very far for 3 years or a year and a half for the whole this period. They might be working to 2 countries. So they might be start traveling. There will be quite, like, you will be focusing on your partner quite a lot. And a lot of things might be happening in your partner's life, like husband or wife or business partner, or whoever is that you have a contract with, marriage contract, business contract, whatever is that, my dear Virgos. Now, 7th house is a house of, sort of social house. Your society will change. Your colleagues will change. And it might be because you're moving somewhere, or it might be because of a new job, for example. Sort of your surrounding with whom you talk, like people surrounding you, totally, completely will change, upgrade to next level, and most likely to a foreign level, because North Node is all about unusual, foreign things. Now, new sort of business relations might be forming, collaborations might be forming, and success will come through other people when you work with other people. That will be the key. But for you, my dear, as as Virgos, communicators, masterminds of communication, it won't be a problem. So communicate with all sorts of people. Success will be on its way. It's guaranteed, my dear Virgos. Now, also signing a lot of important documents will be on the table too. Now, if you work on a client based also business, then your client might change. Sort of, you might start focusing on different types of client. I don't know, depending on your business. Now, South Node will be in your first house, as I said, and South Node is all about loss, and is all about past, something comfortable. And you might, it's very great time for you to lose weight here, because first house is all about appearance, and if that's your goal, this South Node will help you greatly. You might enhance your health and lose weight, and also you might change your job, as I said, or business, or you might, for example, like you are moving to some other country or to some other job, and because of that, you are breaking up for your sweetheart, with your sweetheart, because your partner doesn't want to move, let's say, and you come actually to this decision at this point when these lunar nodes will be transiting your 7th of first house. Now, I can give you my example what was going on in my life when North Node transited my 7th house and South Node transited my first house. I did indeed lost quite a lot of weight according to my sun sign. I also moved to another city to start my studies, plus I changed how my appearance. For the first time in my life, I changed my haircut after like so many years. And it was quite a shock to my surrounding and to something fresh to myself. My dear Virgos, this might be also the case for you. Now, before like all this January, since July 2023, your focus was on money, on how much you earn, how much you possess, because lunar nodes were in your financial houses, 8th house and 2nd house, and also self-esteem. Like lunar nodes transformed you greatly about how much you value yourself and how much you get paid for your job and for your skills. And it taught you greatly, actually. And now when this lunar nodes in your sign, use this time to propel, to a better future. And before, it was all about your job, all about your financial situation. But now it will be all about your future and your stance in life, your plans, and in general priorities, my dear Virgos. Libras, my dear Libras, for you it will be 6th and 12th house. Now, 6th and 12th house is all about service access, and it's much easier to host these nodes in your 6th and 12th house. You've been heroes for the last a year and a half because South Node was in your sign, and now you might be relieved finally, because before like a year and a half, since 2023 July, you've been focusing a lot on yourself, on other people, and the relationships, business relationships, marriage relationships, because they were transiting your 1st house and 7th house. It's all about self, all about priorities, self-esteem, and in general about love relationships, marriage. A lot of Libras got married, either got divorced. A lot of Libras sort of focused, life was focusing on partner, whether it's a business partner, whether it's a husband or spouse. There was a huge focus on that. But now that focus is shifting to your 6th house and 12th house. Now, 6th house is all about health. And here you might, start acquiring new healthy habits, like let's say healthy eating style, for example, or you might get interested in sport, in going to gym, or new type of, yoga or whatever, like stretching. You might incorporate physical activities and healthy lifestyle into your life. Start beginning from January, my dear Libras, because North Node will be in your 6th house and it gives you opportunities. Now, 6th house is also a house of work. And here, upcoming a year and a half will be brilliant for you to find that dream job, because North Node opens opportunities, and that job will be related to foreign lands, foreign people, culture, because North Node is, itself all about something unusual, not unlike your cultural or upbringing, let's say, background. Now, it's about work, and a lot of Libras will change their job, will have a lot of opportunities actually to find a new and better paid job. Sixth house is also a house of pets. You might get a pet for yourself, a cat or a dog or any other animal actually. Now, as I said, sixth house is about health. I also like to mention that, this North Node usually shows some methods of healing or health related methods which are unusual. Maybe, I don't know, some, let's say, healing with waves or with sound, some sort of very unusual or different or new types of like less heard of sort of types of healing methods you might get interested in and you might use into your life, so to become healthy, let's say. Now, South Node will be focusing your 12th house, and it's a house of past, house of letting go things, and it's amazing time for you to get sort of get rid of all the things that you don't need anymore in your life, especially from your past traumas, past sort of grudges, let's say, if you have like, whatever story you are holding on to, I don't know, since whatever, 18 years, let's say, or 9 years back, this will be amazing opportunity to let go, finally to let go. And it's sort of, it might be even karmic meeting with someone from your past as well here, because, South Node is someone who we know very well. Or even if that person will be new, you might feel that you know this person whole your life, as an example. Or like you might you might form a friendship with someone who is new, but at the same time you will be feeling that you've been knowing each other whole life, as an example. And the focus will be also, will shift from your past. You will finally stop focusing actually on whatever you've been through, and you will start focusing to your future, which is good. I can give you my example, what was going on in my life. So when this North Node was in 6th house and South Node in 12th house, I started working for the first time in my life, actually, paid job. I mean, I got my first paid job because North Node moved into my 6th house, house of work. And I remember I was so nervous, and I finally started earning my own money, let's say, at that time. It was during student years. And funny enough, I started working in hospital. 6th house is a house of health and house of servicing others. And it's hospitals actually too. 12th house is indicative of hospitals. And I started working actually in hospital. Of course, it's not my area of profession, but I was just as an assistant. I mean, registering clients and all these patients. But nevertheless, it's interesting enough that I started working exactly there, indicative of these houses. Also, my yoga journey started. I got interested in the yoga, but of course I didn't sort of pursue it so strongly, but still I got so much satisfaction of doing yoga in my life, and that time I enjoyed it greatly. Now, my dear Scorpios, let's come to you. It will be for your 5th house and 11th house. Now, this 5th house and 11th house is all about expansion, all about love to yourself and to your life. And a lot of Scorpios might fall in love, especially if you're single. You will have amazing chance to meet your one and only in upcoming a year and a half, even to get married during these 18 months. Now, let me briefly speak to you what was going on since July 2023. Your focus was on your health, on your past, and sort of this South Node taught you how to let go of your past and how to focus on your work, how to focus on helping others, how to be helpful also, and how to be helpful to yourself in terms of your health too. Like, a lot of Scorpios might have started doing, stretching or some sort of sport and going to gym, let's say. Now it's became a lifestyle as an example. But now focus is shifting into your 5th and 11th house. As I said, a lot of you guys might fall in love if you're single and if you want that. And the 5th house is also house of kids. If that was your wish, you might also get a kid your kids might be born, let's say, or there will be a lot of focus on your kids. If you have them, then you might get in upcoming a year and a half quite busy with it might be they are like graduating and going to college, for example, or changing their kindergarten, or something going on there, or maybe your kids are getting married, or maybe your kids are giving birth, let's say, to your grandchild. So a lot of focus will be there no matter what. So here, a year and a half, those of you who have kids, seems like you will be so much entangled with this kids things, children's things. Now, some of you guys might be quite busy with your business, because fifth house is about business, and you will get lucky in opening any sort of business if that's your idea. So go for it. You will have a perfect period for that. Now, fifth house is house of sort of creative house, creativity. Our talents is here, what we enjoy doing, whether it's our hobby, whether it's our business. It's amazing time to open your hobby even further to the world, as an example, or to find new hobbies that will give you such an enjoyment, let's say. And don't allow yourself more enjoyment in your life. Actually, this is the advice of North Node. So indulge yourself. Now, fifth house is also house about, as I said, talents, creativity. It might be that you're an actor or actresses, singers, like related to art. So go for all the competitions, all the opportunities to showcase your talent. You will have amazing luck there to land your dream role, for example, in a movie or in a TV show, whatever is that, or to sing to the big audience, for example. Now, fifth house of risks, and seems like if you buy a lottery and if you are sort of fond of these things, you might get quite lucky during this period too. Now, South Node will be in your 11th house, and 11th house is work in big corporations, like where there is like a lot of offices around the world, this kind of structures, and it seems like those of you who work in this kind of big corporations, you might quit your job. You might sort of change people who you talk to, and your surrounding is changing. Or you might quit sort of social group. If you've been part of some sort of a group, let's say, I don't know, reading book club, I don't know, whatever group, you might leave that group, because South Node is about leaving, is about loss, is about sort of your focus is shifting. It's becoming less important, and you won't be focusing on that anymore. Now, 11th house is also house of dreams and plans for your future, and you might have quite big adjustments there. You might have like a lot of changes to your plans. Like if before this January you've been dreaming, like let's say, of something else, even like for the past 5 years you've been dreaming about some career or I don't know, some plan for your future, that case won't be anymore. Seems like it's completely changing where you're headed, actually, because those plans, it seems like, won't be any more important and relevant to your life. For example, if you've been dreaming working in big corporations and climbing the career ladder, and it was super important and you've been working hard, all of a sudden you might find yourself opening your own business and quitting that corporation. Well, no matter how many years you spend there, seems like it will be so easy to you and it won't make any more sense and importance to you, my dear Scorpios. Now, I can give you my example when North Node hit my 5th house and South Node my 11th house. As I said, I fell in love during this time for the first time actually in my life. And in general, I had a bit messy love life at that time during that period. And I started working somewhere else. I changed where I was working. I was working in the big corporation, but then I changed it to the smaller one, to private one. Now, Sagittarius, for you guys, it will be 4th house and 10th house. Now, this is angular axis, angular houses, very important, very sensitive. Now, 4th house is all about real estate, all about our base, where we live, with whom we live, our family also. And North Node is hitting your 4th house. Seems like your family is getting expanded, no matter like your brother or sister getting married, or you are getting married, or you are giving birth, or your sister or brother giving birth. Seems like number of people in your family is getting bigger, my dear Sag, because North Node will be there. Now, South Node will be in your 10th house, and focus will be less on your career, on your social status. Seems like you won't pay any importance or any attention, to your social status, like whether you're married or not married. If that was very important to you before, South Node hits that part of your life and makes you to rethink, to reprioritize. Sort of that importance attachment won't be anymore there, seems like, and it won't be mattering to you anyhow if you are, I don't know, if you are influential, let's say, if you have big influence or small influence, if you achieve the career advancements or not. You might be focusing on your family more, because North Node in your 4th house, there will be huge focus on your family. There might be even situation when you give up your career for family reasons, like getting married and moving abroad, or having a baby, and that's why after so many years of climbing career ladder, you are leaving it, let's say for maternity leave in general, and you are like pausing, sort of. It won't be any more important. Number one thing will be family in your life. Now, for the past year and a half, when North Node and South Node were in your 5th and 11th house since July 2023, it was all about your love life. It was all about, a lot of you guys might have dated, let's say, a lot of different partners because North Node was in your 5th house, and especially like foreigners here. And it might have been that also like you've been working, let's say, online, but then past a year and a half that you lost that opportunity. You went back to corporate life, as an example. Or you've been working from home, but then you went back to office also. Or you started your business also. If you quit your job in the corporate life, then you might have started your business past a year and a half, which is successful now. Some of you guys might have gotten the kids already, because 5th house is about children. There was huge emphasis on your children last a year and a half. So you might have given birth also, or got pregnant, let's say. And now, like after January, you might give birth, and this lunar node is expanding your family. Now, 4th house is all about mother, and in upcoming a year and a half, there will be huge emphasis on your mother, on your focus. So, if you say that nothing's going on in my life, then it might be huge things going on in your mother's life, which will affect you directly as well. Now, it's about focus. There will be huge focus. Now, 4th house is also house of immigration. Why? Because 4th house is house where we live. And if we change that, so our citizenship change. A lot of you guys might change location of your living, or even buy a house. Some of you guys might buy a house. Some of you guys might relocate to another country. Some of you guys might change your citizenship, get a residence permit documents. A lot of things, depending on your situation, might be going on related to where you call home or real estate, my dear Sag. Now, for example, you are getting married and you're changing your surname. Could be too, because 4th house is our family tree and ancestors. So you might be changing your surname because you got married, for example, or you got divorced and going back to your surname, as an example. Or you might open up some sort of secrets related to your family history, let's say. Also, 4th house is about family business. You might get involved into family business, and you might build it or open it or even expand it. Now, South Node will be in your 10th house, and as I said, your career sort of will be in the background now. Sort of less focus will be there, and your ambitions will be less also, sort of it will change. You might even say no to some sort of promotions as well for one or another reason. Or your company simply will close or go bankrupt, as an example. Now, I can give you my examples, what was going on in my life when I thought back to when North Node hit my 4th house and South Node my 10th house. I actually relocated to another country for the first time in my life and giving up my career that I was building in my home country. I changed, where I live totally. And completely relocated to a new culture, a new thing, because North Node is all about foreign things, all about unusual things, which might shock you. And it's in your fourth house, and fourth house is all about, I don't know, citizenship, relocation, different country too. Now, my dear Capricorns, for you guys, it will be movement axis because North Node moves into your third house, South Node moves into your ninth house. Now, before this January, since July 2023, when these nodes were occupying your 4th house and 10th house, they were in your angular, very sensitive houses. A lot of you guys might have been focusing on your family, specifically on your mother. A lot of you guys might have given birth, like your family got expanded, or your sisters or brothers got married, or they gave birth. Sort of, a number of people in your family got bigger. Because North Node makes it bigger. This was happening for the last a year and a half. Or a lot of Capricorns might have bought an apartment or real estate or house or piece of land or whatever is that. A lot of Capricorns changed their citizenship or got permanent residence permit or temporary residence permit, in general relocated to another country, because 4th house is all about citizenship. And for the past a year and a half, it seems like your career was not so much important to you. It was on a second sort of background line. You are not paying so much attention to your career, to your achievements, and to your social status in general, whether you're single, whether you're married. It wasn't so much important that time. But now, when this node will hit your movement axis, 3rd and 9th house, life will get faster, my dear Capricorns. North Node in your 3rd house is all about communication, is all about media. You might want to start a media project, like a social media page, for example. You will get so collaborative, you will get so communicative, because, 3rd house is all about communication. Whatever we speak, think, communicate, seems like you will get a lot of new contacts, a lot of new friends, especially your circle with whom you communicate daily, completely changing, totally changing. It might be because you will start learning some new skills, which is learned like in the short term, some courses, you might meet someone, or you might start teaching something, or you might be sort of get a teacher, let's say, for yourself. 3rd house is also house of relatives, and especially our brothers and sisters, and also our neighbors. You might get quite busy with their life too. There will be huge focus on your siblings. It might be in their life will be happening something very important once in a lifetime that will affect you too, like your brother and sister moving away, I don't know, graduating, getting married, whatever is that, like huge things. As I said, 3rd house is all about communication. It's also about like, public speaking. You might get an opportunity to speak somewhere up, about some topic, to get invited as a speaker, as an example. Or you might start learning a new language already from January, my dear Capricorn. So, like, learning new things, and your courage will be on boost, my dear Capricorns, because North Node is all about speed and it gives opportunities, and 3rd house is all about bravery. Seems like you will get brave enough to start anything, anywhere, and it's amazing time for you to do that, to learn, to grab all the opportunities to learn new things. Now, South Node will be in your 9th house. Now, 9th house is all about like long term learning, like especially degrees, like more than a year sort of term learning, and those things will be less important, especially those of you who are students. Seems like your studies will occupy less importance in your life for whatever reason. Maybe you will get busy with love or with work or with learning some other term courses or teaching or whatever, or with media project or social media, but it seems like your studies might become less important. Now, 9th house is all about our beliefs, our plans with foreign lands in general, and what we believe, like what is our conception about life, concepts, I mean. And it seems like your concept of life is totally changing, of meaning of your life is totally changing, completely erasing the previous one and something new there. Focus is changing. Ninth house is house of legal, all things legal. Here, better not to have any litigation or legal cases. Very big chance of losing the case, so better not to argue with anyone. To take it to the court, I advise you not to do so, because South Node is about losses, and it's in your exactly legal house, my dear Capricorns. And about education, I also like to mention, a lot of you guys, you might graduate during this time too, because it's finishing, something finishing, North Node, and it's in your education house. Now, I can give you my example, what was going on in my life when North Node hit my 3rd house and South Node my 9th house. I started my master's degree at that time, and my friendship circle completely changed because of that, according to my sun sign. Like, I completely changed with whom I communicate daily, because I went to university, new one, and I got friends consequently. Aquarius says, my dear Aquarius says, for you guys, it will be financial access. North Node is moving into your 2nd house, which is amazing placement, and South Node moving into your 8th house. Now, before this January, since July 2023, these nodes, they were occupying your movement axis, 3rd house and 9th house. And there was a lot of ideas movement, and in general, physical movement, a lot of travels, a lot of you might have started, like, for the past a year and a half, social media projects, like opening your social media page, or starting your podcast or YouTube channel, whatever is that. You've been busy with communication projects where you need to write, speak, or read, everything related to 3rd house. And also education. A lot of you guys might have graduated or got some degree, like master's degree, bachelor's degree, or some new skills through short-term courses. Some of you guys might have learned how to drive, like you got your driving license. It could have been the case too, or you bought your new car during this time too. But now these nodes are making you focus on your financial situation. So upcoming a year and a half will be financial. The universe wants you to focus on your work situation. A lot of you guys might get amazing opportunities to start a new job, which will be lucrative, which will be amazing, which will be related to something unusual, something new, maybe AI, or something completely still no one heard of, or something which is like, because North Node indicative of something unusual and foreign. So it might be in a different country, or working with foreigners, or with foreign specialists, whatever is that. You will have plenty of opportunities to earn more, to earn better, plus to earn to be in a better work situation, let's say, to change if you want to change. And it seems like universe is trying to move you there around. Now, South Node will be in your 2nd house. 2nd house is, 8th house. 8th house is all about other people's money. Like, if you've been a student and you've been on scholarship, like that you are receiving from government, that will stop. Seems like you've graduated, let's say, and now your scholarship stops. Like whatever you've been receiving financial help will be now less focused, or will be at loss, because South Node is all about loss and past things, like it was a past. If you've been receiving an alimony, let's say, now, let's say your ex-husband or wife stopped working, they quit their job and they're not earning, and that's why you stop receiving alimony, for example. Or your kid grew up and until this legal age, and those alimonies stop coming in too. It's amazing time to get rid of any loans as well. If you have, it's amazing time, according to South Node, to finally close that bank loan, to return back all that you owe, for example, because it's 8th house is all about bank money. Not a good period for you to invest, because 8th house about investments, and South Node is about losses. So here there might huge sort of chance that you might lose a lot of money. Better not to invest in any shares or coins or any financial sort of instruments. Now this North Node that is, is in your second house already, will make you focus a lot on your money situation, like changing a profession. You might completely change what you do in upcoming a year and a half. And the advice here to count on yourself only, not the money that as supportive, like comes from other sources, from government, from institution or financial institution or loans. The lunar nodes here telling you to only believe in yourself and count on yourself in terms of financing yourself. You can do it, my dear Aquariuses. Second house is also house of eating habits, and here seems like a lot of things are changing. You might change what you consume daily, for example, or your diet plan. Something is changing, and in general, second house is all about our self-esteem. North Node is here boosting your self-esteem, sort of making you believe in yourself, into your skills. And actually this South Node is trying to tell you not to rely on your parents or inheritance or whatever, like other people's money. So rely on yourself only, and your self-esteem will get such a huge transformation and energy there. It will give you amazing sort of start of this 2025, and in general whole this period you will get to another level of earning money, earning more money, my dear Aquariuses. Now this North Node usually is about speed, and everything will change in a speed of light, my dears. Now also this is second house is about priorities. Your priorities is changing, and also resources. In terms of like talent, for example, you might discover a new talent in yourself, especially related to what you speak, because second house is about our throat, like it rules the body part, which is throat. And it might be that you will discover that you can sing, or you will discover that you can publicly speak, for example, or some communication talent. So you might start earning through that sort of talent. You might start open something related to social media, communication project. Anyhow, your self-esteem is going high up, my dear Aquariuses. Now, the South Node, which will be in your 8th house, is all about, as I said, loss. So better not to invest in not to get involved into any financial sort of adventures, especially taking loans, because then it will take you, it might take you another 18 years until this node will come back to the same point if you take a loan now to repay that loan actually. So better to avoid for a year and a half, my dear Aquariuses. Now I can give you my example, what was going on in my life when North Node hit my second house. I had to start working because I graduated. So consequently, I lost my scholarship that was supporting me from an institution, right? So my daily spendings, and I had to start working. My second house, so my self-value quite changed a lot. And I was searching for, and I actually discovered a few talents in me how to earn money, and it was related to social media projects, my dear Aquariuses. Pisces, heroes, another heroes of this period, because you will host North Node, my dear Pisces, in your first house. This is amazing opportunity to you, my dears. Now, together with Virgo, you are the heroes of upcoming a year and a half. North Node is in your first house. South Node is in your 7th house. There will be a lot of focus on yourself, on your priorities, on your plans. Now, before this January, for the past year and a half, since July 2023, focus was hugely on your financial situation. You've been sort of searching your talents, how to earn. A lot of Pisces change their job, how they are earning changed, what is like investments also change, like taxing, bank loans, other people's money. In general, everything changed. You might have acquired some real estate the past a year and a half, for example, or a new job also. You change your profession completely. So, huge emphasis was on your self-esteem, what your worth also, because that was, North Node and South Node was showing you your true value. through money, through events, through situations, through actually what you earn. For the past a year and a half, this kind of situations was sort of a mirror to you of your actual worth. Now, when this North Node will move into your sign, this is a huge period for you. Like, think back to 18 years and a half. What was going on in your life? Topics might repeat, as I said in the beginning of the video. Now, first house is all about me. What I want, where I'm going, what's my plans, all these things. And it might, when North Node hits first house, it might touch all the houses in the horoscope, because first house is all about me, meaning you might meet your karmic partners, you might get married, or you might just sort of meet your one and only. You might change your name or surname, or you might come up with brand name, let's say, for yourself. You might become popular, like in a communication area, media area, let's say. You might change your style, like your appearance, your, let's say, haircut, even the smallest, it will give you big change there. You will become attractive, because North Node attracts things, it gains things, it will put the sort of spotlight on you there. Everyone would want to communicate with you, everyone will pay attention to you. Also, it might be divorces, because South Node will be in your 7th house. Now, South Node is all about loss or about past. So something is already your past, especially those of you who are stuck in marriages that are not working anymore and you've been reluctant to do something about it and to make the decision. So this South Node comes in, and it's usually fast, it's usually with the speed of light. It might leave you under shock, but that will be the situation. Especially if you are in unhappy marriage, that marriage won't last, my dear Pisces. In upcoming a year and a half, you might start a divorce process. You might get divorced, actually, because you're losing this partner, you see. And it's for good, because your focus will be on yourself, which is a new self, new plans, new life, my dear Pisces. So the advice of this lunar nodes: focus on yourself, on your new sort of life. And let go of things. And it seems like it will be much easier for you to let go of people that are not serving you anymore, of relationships that are not serving any good anymore to you, and to make a space, in your life to something new that you actually want, not any other person that was influencing, but that you want, my dear Pisces. Now, 7th house of enemies. Here, not good time, a year and a half, to go into court. Better to settle this divorce peacefully, because there is a huge chances that you're gonna lose things, and it will be very fast. And it's not advisable in general, even if it's a marriage, like a lawsuit or whatever related lawsuit topic, like financial, it's not advisable to have this lawsuit, to go into this lawsuit, my dear Pisces. And in general, it will be so fast that you will, will find yourself in a totally new social level, sort of. Now, this South Node in your 7th house is all about other people. Like, 7th house is people that we communicate with daily, but then that we have contractual agreement with, sort of marriage agreement or a business agreement. So this is all about people. And here, South Node tells you, don't look to other people. Don't look on other people at all. Look at yourself. Concentrate on yourself. Focus on yourself. Be persistent. Know what you want and go for it. No need to compare with other people. This is the advice, my dear Pisces, for you. And this, 7th house is all about other people, as I said. Seems like there could be a situation that, like, you might lose half of those people who you communicate with. Sort of, you're changing social circle. People that you communicate with, that you work with, is changing. Maybe because you're going abroad, or you're moving somewhere, or you're changing your living location or your job. Whatever is the reason, but there will be sort of a sense that you one sort of social circle coming, and another is living your life. Huge part of that social circle, my dear Pisces. Now, I can give you my example, what was going on in my life when this North Node hit my 1st house. I got job offer from actually two places. You see, this North Node, it gives opportunities, big opportunities, and all I was at that time concerned with and concentrated on was my plans, my things, what I wanted. And I actually got two job offers from the two companies that I wanted to work with, and it also gave me my dream come true. I was so focused on my dream that this North Node opened that door, so easily. And I had such a sense that everything is falling on its right places with magic, sort of. I didn't even make any effort or something. I was just focused. I was focused and I was persistent, and I was just love doing what I was doing. And in one day, it was like a dream, my dream came true. It sort of was surreal for me. And also at that period, I met my future husband. South Node, even though it was in my 7th house, it's not only like a separation and divorce. It might actually give you opportunity to meet your one and only, your karmic partner. Because South Node is someone from your past life. It's someone that you might feel instantly that you know each other for, I don't know, for ages, for centuries. So it seems like it might be someone who will be so close to you, but at the same time so new in your life. You wouldn't even expect it to happen. But as I said, these nodes, they're like cups. Energies is like flowing. They're flowing between these two cups, and you never know when the opportunity hits. But it's a huge, amazing period for you, my dear Pisces. So use this period to shine bright, my dears. Now, this was the video about lunar nodes. I hope I was helpful, and I would greatly appreciate your feedbacks. And I wish you amazing slide of this period. And as I said, less resistance, it will be beneficial. Go with the flow. This is the advice with lunar nodes. Change that will happen, they will happen. They are fated, my dears. Love you all. Bye-bye.